Hey everybody, just a little very short one today. I wanted to share something with you all because I know many of you are still trying to get people into this very special opportunity, but I thought who better than to listen to one of the best investors of our time, Bill Miller. He is somebody I actually worked very close to where he worked for a long time. I've seen him a number of times. We're not friends, obviously. But before we jump in, he would be with us, only time is his scarcest resource. But I do have some things to share that I thought need to be shared. So this is why I'm doing this very quick, probably my shortest video ever, but less than 5 minutes. Channels about math, money, and freedom. And of course, this is edutainment. So let's talk about Bill Miller. What are his credentials? All right, he is a rock star investor. He is a world record holder. Nobody has ever achieved what he has achieved. Let me pop this up so you guys can see it. He's the only fund manager ever to beat the S&P 500 in 15 consecutive years running. He is a value investor. And again, former Legg Mason guy, worked very close to him for a while. Don't know him personally, but always admired this man. So again, he knows his stuff. But the key thing there is value investor. Now I want to talk for a second about that, what that means. Basically, double clicking into value investing. This is an investment strategy that involves picking stocks or assets that appear to be trading less for their intrinsic or book value. Okay, that is his DNA. He buys things cheap. He buys things when they're grossly undervalued. But there's more. Let's talk for a second. He mentioned in this great interview, and a big thank you to Doc Buddha as well for bringing it to my attention on Twitter. He pointed out the fact that the smartest people are already recognizing the value of Bitcoin. The smartest people on earth. Okay. Now, Bill's case for Bitcoin, real simple. He says it cannot be touched by government. He says it cannot be inflated away, i.e. the value eaten away like a melting ice cube. He loves the finite supply. So do I. He sees it as an insurance policy. I see it as a life raft. Very similar. He bought some at 200 in the year 2014, and he did not buy again until spring 2021. So he watched it going from 200 to 67,000 and the fall all the way down to 30,000. And then he went in hard. Okay. I know many of you are fretting right now with Bitcoin, little volatile, trading about $41,613 exactly. But he went in hard at that price. He's still buying. So what does he say about where we are? So he famously said in 2021 that Bitcoin is starting to go mainstream. He said it's not a bubble. Now, he also says in this interview, it returns 170% per annum over the last 11 years. He says a lot more people are using it now, a lot more adoption, a lot more venture capital money is coming into it. Skeptics are turning around, not all of them, but a lot of them. And it is super under-penetrated, i.e. we're extremely early in adoption. This is where the value investors come in. Imagine watering a seed that grows into a big tree. This is where they go. This is where they hunt. And he's the best in the business. Now, he did say a couple of things. He does admit that Bitcoin is very volatile, but he sees it as an insurance policy. He sees it as digital gold that cannot be confiscated and that cannot be inflated away. He also recognizes it's a new technology and uses intrinsic value of like a Picasso painting or a baseball card. This is kind of the way he counteracts the FUD of people saying, well, there's no earnings, there's no PE ratio, etc., etc. He said it's a very scarce asset, like a piece of art, like a Picasso or a baseball card that are traded for millions. He said it's all about supply and demand, and the supply is unaffected by demand. Key message here, everybody. Now, his conviction, very impressive. 50%. This man has a lot of wealth. He is half in on Bitcoin. That is kind of stunning, but very impressive. Let's talk about his allocation real quick. And it does go against traditional financial tenets of discipline, i.e. ignoring diversification. But when you look at the top investors, I mean, zoom out. I always talk about the top investors in the world. With the biggest gainers, they always go all in on one thing or very few things. Think Jeff Bezos, think Elon Musk, think Bill Gates, think you name it, Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, all extremely high conviction in one thing that's successful. Now, his allocation, Half of his personal portfolio is in Bitcoin. He is also leveraged, which was kind of shocking. He also invests in some Bitcoin miners. I think it's Stronghold Digital Mining, but the performance doesn't look that good on the miners. He also invests in MicroStrategy, and his balance of his portfolio is Amazon.com, and he uses that to kind of hedge his balance. So like he's 50% Bitcoin, a couple of sprinklings of other things, and then half Amazon, which is super interesting. Now, how does he DCA? Well, he says he buys all the way down. And if Bitcoin was to go from 40,000 to 30,000 to 20,000 to 10,000, he'd buy it all the way down. So think about that, DCA on steroids, with, again, extremely high conviction. He also talked a little bit about Bitcoin versus gold. This is interesting. He said gold has gone from about 5 cents. I don't know where he got the 5 cents value, but 5 cents to $1,800 in 5,000 years. But they said Bitcoin has done the exact same thing in 10 years. That was an analogy I never heard before and was very impressive. But he did say gold has gone down over the last 10 years. So this is the new gold, and it's being adopted very quickly. Remember, 5 cents to $1,800 an ounce, 5,000 years. 5 cents to $41,613 in 10 years. So yeah, pretty impressive. Anyway, that's kind of the big lesson here. And hope you like the content. I'll be back later with another video. I just wanted to share this with you for anybody who's out there kind of doubting anything else. Think the smartest people in the room, the smartest investors in the world, the best investors in the world. They are going in full conviction. Could they all be wrong? Maybe. Is it likely? No, it's highly unlikely. Thank you all. I just want to share that with you. I was kind of too excited not to share it. So that was it. I'll see you guys later. Bye.